Can anybody name the branches of the military?
Army.
Are you talking about the Army, Navy, Air Force,
Marines?
Marines? There we go. And now,
Wait,
yeah,
there's a fifth one.
the new
The Coast Guard.
Coast Guard, bam.
And now there is a sixth one. Does anybody know what it
The
is?
new space station, right?
Well,
Space team, Space Force,
It's Space Force.
coast to coast.
Space Force, coast to coast. I saw this. In case anybody is listening and hasn't seen this yet, the president announced that he wants a space force. It essentially would be another branch of defense and military for the government. And I personally don't understand it. Look, I wouldn't have any idea how to run the country, so I'm not going to badmouth anybody who's done it. Clinton, Obama, Trump, anybody, because I don't know what it's like. But when you hear the term Space Force, don't you guys think of Star Wars, Star Trek, Spaceballs? Like, I have no idea what the hell they're going to defend.
I think of Power Rangers. I think of Power Rangers. That sounds like a version of the Power Rangers.
I'm thinking of more like Ben 10.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Actually, there was a Power Rangers in space, John.
Yes, there was. Actually, I've seen them all.
Is that the gooey guy?
No, you're talking about movies.
Don't worry about
Relax. You're out of your element.
You haven't had a childhood.
Grow up.
I know movies. Was that the goo?
That's the first movie you're talking about, the Power Ranger movie. He's talking about the TV shows.
See, after a certain age, I stopped watching Power Rangers. So.
When you have kids, you end up watching a lot of Power Rangers.
Forever young.
KJ was in high school watching Power Rangers. You can't blame me for that.
Is there a problem with that?
Yep, it is.
What is it?
What's wrong with a youthful man watching Power Rangers?
You're telling somebody else
Exactly.
to grow up?
That's
That
a
is, you can't
trip.
even pick up your own clothes.
That's a trip. He got a clean clothes hamper. He's telling me.
He's too
He's
busy.
talking to me about
Let's
things.
bring someone next. Let's pay some bills.
Oh, good. Brought to us by?
This episode is brought to you by the Clean Clothes Hamper. It's patented by J Flow Entertainment. You ever get home and you're sick and tired of just hanging up your clothes? You just take them off and put them on the floor. And then your wife comes home and she's yelling at you about all the clothes that are laying on the floor.
Nope.
Now we have patented the Clean Clothes Hamper in a store near you. Put your clothes that you don't feel like hanging up into a hamper, and they won't be all over the floor again.
You won't sell one of these things.
Which will be convenient for you to just take out and put back on again whenever you're ready to. Or to take out and hang up whenever you're ready to. The Clean Clothes Hamper.
So purgatory for clean clothes.
Basically.
That is unbelievable. I really am going to buy you a hamper for a wedding gift.
You really should.
So if there is a Space Force, by the way, are they fighting aliens? Because I don't think there are any.
I don't know if anything's fighting aliens.
Well, okay, do you think there are aliens?
I think there's life out in space because we're out in space and we're here.
That's true.
So I would maybe not in this, what is that, galaxy?
Sure.
In this galaxy where Mars and all this stuff is, like maybe there's no life there. But that's probably just one pocket of what's out there, and if there's other pockets, then there's other life.
So are we aliens to other life forms?
Yes.
Good question.
The whole term of the alien is something that you've never seen, something that's from afar. Like you can't identify it for real. So like it's nothing.
Yeah, the universe is a huge place.
Yeah, bro. Like
think that that's pretty like.
That's pretty self-centered.
Yeah, it's
Thank
pretty
you.
cocky
Like that's
to think
impossible.
that you're the only species like on Earth, intelligent.
We're not even the only species on Earth.
We are the only. Well, there's a lot of species on Earth.
So we're not even the only species on Earth. So to even think that there's not even another form or species in another galaxy out there, it's kind of.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I'm always ashamed of myself. But it's nothing to do with my belief in aliens or not.
Like,
I don't believe in
it's like there's
me either.
I mean, the thought of maybe the word aliens and what you're picturing, maybe that's not real. Yeah. But like there's living and breathing things on this planet now, like not even plants. They're living and breathing things on this planet that can, if people were walking, they could probably if you're walking and you see a Venus flytrap and it's big enough, you could lose your life. Like
Little Shop of Horrors.
Exactly. And in another place that could be looked at as alien or different.
If there's no aliens, why do they have area 69?
51.
I think I'm glad you went with 69 just for the fun of it, but
that was
it's
sick.
Area 51.
That was sick.
Oh, it's 51.
Sickening.
Didn't know that.
Area 69.
But you knew the number
is probably
69
what you watch
now.
when you're home by yourself.
But you knew
Yo,
you watched. That's a sick porno name you just came up with, by the way.
There has to be a.
That's what you need to market. You need to market those.
Why is there Area 51 though? If there's no aliens.
You ever been there?
Why are we going to?
I don't know what's there.
Why are we going to space?
Clearly, Donald Trump knows something that we don't know.
I mean,
maybe he does. I don't know.
When is the first takeoff again? I really am not too.
Well,
great with
they
numbers.
just went into. He just announced this yesterday, and so they're going to start this the process of making this new branch of the military. I just, in my mind, I can't look. He may be brilliant and realize something we don't. But I cannot imagine anything in my mind but Spaceballs. Like I seriously, I just think of Spaceballs.
All right, so when's the first rocket ship or
Well,
whatever that took off from Earth? I'm talking about that took off from the planet Earth and landed.
Like Sputnik?
Yeah, it was whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
They said it was fake. The landing.
I heard people say it was fake, but like if they did go in there, they like if that's what they're telling us, they did go on the moon, and it was like in the 50s, 60s or something like that. You like. And they have documented times when they the rockets have gone off. So I think I was talking to somebody. They told me maybe 8 rockets have gone to try to go to outer space. 6 have blown up. 2 have actually made it and did what they're supposed to do. You mean to tell me that they've only been in space a total of 10 times? They don't go more than. For them to have a space station for space
I don't think they got
warriors that are going in
space warriors. I don't think they got shot down or anything by alien life.
Not even shot down, but not even shot down. I feel like if they've been up there since the 60s, look at how far we've come since the 60s.
Sure.
How far could they have come from the 60s to have things up there to do things?
But I feel all right, let's just hypothetically say
the voice of reason.
Let's just hypothetically say that there are aliens, all right?
You
know, in movies and TV shows, they try to make aliens seem like they're the more
aggressor.
Intelligent species.
Yeah.
They want to destroy us. Do you think that's real, or do you think that it's more of, let's say we actually get to meet or see an alien and it's scared of us?
I could tell you why they make it seem like they're the more intelligent species. Well, E.T. was stupid as hell though.
I never seen.
He wasn't very smart.
Also, it's a movie, by the way. So
E.T. wasn't smart. He was dumb. He wasn't.
Well, he got lost on Earth, and then
But
they saved him.
Spoiler. But does that mean that he's dumb because he got lost on a place that he's never been before?
You're right.
He's
intelligent because
poor dumb alien.
Lost my way in Mars. I'm so stupid.
But he's intelligent though because they make him seem like they're more smarter than us because they found their way to Earth, and we haven't found any other life out
because
there.
that would indicate that they had the things that they
Technology.
need, the technology they need to get there. So
Exactly.
because we don't,
So they built-
if they come to us, guaranteed they're smarter.
So they built hyperspeed or supersonic spaceships
that's definitely
that can get.
Star.
That's
You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's
But
seeing
yeah,
if they even want to come here.
But the
though.
whole point is,
why would
but the whole
they
point
might
is
be
this.
just chilling.
All right, I kind of look at it and to his point. All right, we're here. If someone comes to us, I look at it like they're obviously smarter than we are, because they were able to get
They
here.
got here
They
first
got here first
before we
when
got
we
here.
couldn't get to them. And there's other people. There's probably other places where they don't have anything. They're starting their civilization probably all over. If I'm thinking about there being aliens somewhere, I'm thinking about it in the time aspect of it. There was a point in time where we were the beginning of our planet, our beginning of time.
Sure.
Maybe a planet has already passed where we are.
There's an upstart planet.
Yeah,
somewhere.
they probably did what they did, and that's why they're ahead of us. And it's the same thing for there being planets where it's the beginning and we're ahead of them, and sooner or later they got to make those steps to get to a certain point in their society where they have what we have.
And aliens have definitely been here.
That's what I kind of feel like.
Where do we come up with all these images at,
bro?
I don't know.
Some of the stuff that's built is almost borderline ridiculous.
Make up in our mind.
Can you
some of the stuff that can't.
Make up a lot of stuff in our mind.
There's things that can't be built that they built a long time ago
How
that
do we know
just
that?
cannot be built. That they haven't been built. We have architects
Like
and
the X-Files.
and everybody. They can't build these things.
So you think someone just came up with how an alien looks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All writing.
No.
There's truth to everything. Not all things, but I mean,
Okay,
I feel like
let's
that's a
talk about
stupid statement.
Independence
There's truth
Day.
to everything.
We've all seen Independence Day.
Yeah.
I think if aliens come, that's how it goes down. I think they're blowing us to
If
bits.
something comes
Why would
here,
it- why?
Because what do they have to gain?
What do you mean? Why would they? Why?
What was
Have you
somebody?
met
Tom
us?
Cruise
We're
movie.
idiots.
But why would they? They don't know that. This.
But they're spying on. If
How
that
would
exists,
you
they're spying
not?
on us
How
right
would
now.
you
They
not know that?
So they're just coming in violence, like, oh, let's just go blow these.
They might want to take over.
You know,
They
I feel
see,
like if
our
anything,
way of life
what
is
do we
better.
do when we go places?
We take over.
It's
They
like
don't kill people.
like there's people that go to there are places that there are people that go to places and do things like that. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Like there would people who are violent all the time, so I wouldn't be surprised if something came here and when they get there, it's like us or them.
You talking about colonizers? So people,
Look at you, Captain Philosophy.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the fact that this global takeover brought to you by J Flow Entertainment.
Space Wars.
Deshaun doesn't want
Coast to
speak
coast.
on stuff.
Okay,
I'll
one
speak
one
on
thing. If they come, do you think they'll have clean clothes hampers?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, we know
If
They don't
have
wear-
clean
they don't wear
hampers,
clothes.
That's a sign that they're more intelligent.
They don't wear
Yeah.
clothes, probably.
They're going to
Something
destroy the
ridiculous.
earth. And then
Naked aliens.
They're going to destroy the earth, and they're not going to clean it up right away. So they probably should get like some type of hamper or something. They can just put it
Some
in.
giant.
Bro, you don't have to clean up anything after a certain amount of
galactic
time.
hamper.
Huh?
You don't have to clean up anything after a certain amount of time. Like if people were to stop doing things completely and just let stuff rust, things would rust, break down, ash out,
rot away.
You won't have to do anything except just give it time. Like this building, if you left this here and never did anything, this would come down over time.
So you would just build something on top of that.
I mean, if something were to come here, they wouldn't have to do anything. I mean, if they destroy it, whatever they destroy it, over time, everything else would take care of itself.
Don't you think they would have to like move this building out of the way to put what they want?
No, because in time, it would go away.
So they're just going to build over a old rusted.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if they came here shooting things down, things wouldn't be up.
Yeah, they probably fall down.
So they would build in ruins. It would just be ruins.
Things to turn into ruins
That's what
over
happened
time.
to Rome.
Hence,
Rome fell apart, and then they built a city around the remains.
It's a beautiful city.
It is a beautiful city.
So I'm sure they cleaned it up a little bit, right?
Have you've been there?
I don't know what the
haven't been there.
alien
back
cleanup crew looks like,
and
so I
cleaned it
can't
up.
tell you. I don't really know for sure if this
Don't know
is
how
real life or
diligent
not.
they are.
But I don't know how intricate they are with cleaning. But what I will say is that things do. You don't have to knock anything over. You can sit still and things will fall themselves.
I like these hypothetical alien questions.
they're
If we
fantastic.
were aliens, then what would aliens do?
Rick and
funny.
KJ,
This is
y'all
funny.
don't believe that there's another place like Earth with this
No.
anywhere in
nowhere
space.
the
No.
galaxy.
That's
I don't think
crazy.
so.
No, I
Not
don't think
big
so.
Until they
spaces.
There's things proven that will make that sound like there's
see it.
there's freaking black holes.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me there could be black holes in space that'll take you to other parts of space, but there are no other life forms anywhere else in the galaxy?
I think there water on planets? Sure. There are things that show, but I don't think there's
there's
another.
So
water.
there's water on planets. Then like where
If there's
All right,
water,
man.
there's some type of life form.
Chuck, where are these like I know people might fall into the religious aspect to answer some of these questions, but I kind of feel like where do animals come from? Like where are these things coming from? Like they were things that were there, whether they be put there or they just developed. Like if you could say humans developed from these from apes and
Well, sure.
what things developed, so it got here somehow. So like there's these same things, or maybe not the exact same things, but there are things that are developing in other places. So if we came out of nowhere, I can guarantee you it wouldn't happen once.
Yeah. So I
Like it's not gonna happen one time. Like
But how do
let's
we
just
know
leave
that?
this one place alone.
I could break it down. So you
it's
saying
just
like
the
some
numbers.
people believe in a Big Bang, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So some people believe in a Big Bang. So you think the Big Bang only created life
Just this
form
section?
on Earth?
Yes,
the
just
section?
this section.
I kind of find that
That's
difficult.
crazy. So
Like it's just like it just affected one place.
Well,
And- and
it
the
is
galaxy-
weird.
this galaxy is our
there
place.
There are 9 planets, and there is only a living, standing beings on one of those planets, and it's this one that can.
and this.
You don't
What?
know. You don't want to know how I think about this stuff. It's
I do want to know. That's why we're talking to each other.
like it's strange to think that there's just no other life anywhere else. Like there's this galaxy that's just this pocket right here, and it probably is another one and another one that leads out to who knows. Like, but you can't just sit here and go, all right, well, we got darkness, and then somehow it sparked these big old asteroids that turned into like what? Like how are planets made then? If that's the case, like if the Big Bang just created planets, just like boom. Circles, water, grass, this, that. Like, I kind of find it. that it's just in this one alley. Because, I mean, the galaxy is an alley, and it has
So you
numerous
think in
planets.
another galaxy there's a place called
Yeah, who's to say?
Mirth,
Who's
and it's got people on it?
I don't know what they call it. It could be anything.
Who's to say there wasn't a Big Bang somewhere else in the galaxy?
Exactly. Who knows that this Big Bang that is not just creating this galaxy that the Big Bang created this galaxy and other galaxies as far as we know. Like we don't know.
KJ, talk some
But
sense
that's
in
what. But that's what I'm saying is that we don't know. So these are all. So we don't know. So we can only go off for what we can see and what we can prove, and we can't prove that there's life
But
anywhere else but here.
But we can't prove this.
So right now,
about that?
I feel like this is all we got to go off of. I'm not saying that you can't be right, but I'm saying as of right now,
He is right.
this is all we got to go off of.
I'm just going off of numbers alone, and when I sit here and go from the 60s,
Professor Butler.
60s,
Yeah, right.
60s to 2000, we're almost in 2020. Things look extremely different on the planet Earth
That's true.
with how we do things, with
Because
how
we're
people do
destroying it.
things.
Alright.
Things are extremely different. So to think that how maniacal the government, people make the government out to be, to think that individuals aren't from the 60s and they got there and they put their feet and the flag on there and they've been up there, to think that they haven't made something up there. They're talking about making commercial flights for people to go to space.
Is that crazy?
Is it that safe? How will we know is it that safe?
Would you
like,
take
you know
that
what I'm saying?
flight?
Like, no, because I don't know how safe it is. Like, but apparently it's so safe that they're putting space warriors out there and they're putting people out there to go look at space.
Something's
and they're
going
gonna
on.
have people there to protect the people that are going to look at space.
Who believes in ghosts?
What's the definition of that?
Do you believe in spirits still here on Earth?
I do. Yeah.
And if you do, then how could you not believe
An alien.
two
anything
different
else being
things.
out
You
there?
better not say you believe in ghosts.
If
Why
you
are you
believe,
mad at me?
Wow.
do you believe in ghosts?
No.
All right.
Oh, you
cool.
don't? Oh, okay.
No, I
Do
absolutely.
you have any off the wall thing that you believe
Y'all
in?
are very naive. Like, your parents told you there's no such thing as aliens and ghosts, and you just went with that, huh?
I mean,
That's crazy.
what are you
But
talking
isn't it
I don't know
naive
anything
to
about
think
ghosts.
that there are aliens?
No, that's being open-minded.
Well, I'm
Not-
not a closed-minded person.
That's very closed-minded.
To not believe in ghosts and not believe in aliens?
And this
How
big
can I
Because
believe
you haven't
in
seen
something
it.
that hasn't been
Yeah.
proven yet?
Oh,
That's
really?
what I- that's exactly
people.
all I'm
People
saying
say
is
that
how
a
can
lot
we-
about a lot of things.
But exactly. But until it's proven, and
I
then
mean,
once it's proven,
once again,
once it's proven.
So what about
then-
religion?
yeah, exactly. No one
about
has
religion?
sat there and proven religion, and the people within those stories are real people. Not all of them.
faith-based.
Not all of them. It's
That's
faith-based. That's
Okay.
true.
So you gotta have
This-
faith.
Well, I mean, okay. I grew up Catholic, so I mean, I grew up Catholic, and I was taught this is what happened. This is this. This is this.
Yeah.
And this, and you either choose to believe it or you
You
not,
don't,
which is
exactly.
the definition of faith.
Yeah.
But like when I say like, all right, I believe that it's out there. I'm not saying I believe it because I've seen it or something ridiculously crazy like that. But I just find it. That's like me going somewhere in the planet. Like, and there's places in the planet where people can't live, like they physically can't live. But then, like, there's places where people think people don't live that they do, and they have communities and people that live in these places. Like,
Like Aborigines.
yeah.
and people
So,
that are
like,
tribes.
because you
Sure.
think it's deserted doesn't mean that it's nothing there. I feel like that's in a sense like a lazy way of thinking, because it's like, oh, we don't know if anybody's there, so you know it's
No,
not there.
But
you
But
make a
then you
good point.
find, I mean, but once again to Kevin's point, when you see it, now you know.
But ghosts,
So,
ghosts are proven though. Like,
Okay,
I've seen it. I
I've
actually
never
had
seen
sex
that.
with-
I can't. I can't.
Please, let
don't-
us know.
I was
had
gonna say,
sex-
baby, I don't
had
know what you're
sex
talking about.
with the ghost.
Now
You
we can
had
stop.
sex with a ghost?
A ghost came to me when I was asleep. I'll
You
never
killed
forget.
Kevin, by the way.
When I was what was it? I was about 14 years old. I definitely had sex with a ghost.
You had sex
She
with a
had
ghost?
sex with me while I was asleep.
I think I seen this on a scary movie. Continue though.
So I was asleep one night and
Definitely got it from a movie.
this
Got
ghost.
it from a movie.
No,
Oh no, really?
she appeared over top of me, and
Oh my god.
she had sex with me. I woke up and the bed was wet,
Just stop.
and I had sex with a ghost.
So wait, but you let her.
You
let her.
And
Listen,
You let her, or she couldn't, or you couldn't get away from like what?
I don't really remember. That's all I remember is like I remember seeing her and
So
like
how
I
you
couldn't
know you had
move.
sex with
I
her
couldn't
if
move.
you don't remember?
Like I couldn't move. Like I remember seeing her and I couldn't move. So
But if you don't,
and that's what was
remember-
happening
If you don't remember, how do you know you had sex with her?
because I remember when I woke up. I remember what was happening.
So you do remember.
Yeah, I remember.
So you couldn't move? Like, how did this process? Was it the regular
all right, that
process
wasn't
of
the
having
only-
sex with a
John,
human being?
you penetrated a ghost.
That wasn't the only time that
You penetrated a ghost.
It's a legit question.
A ghost rode me while I was asleep.
John, listen, you're a good guy, man. And I know we were together with the space thing.
But wait, that wasn't the only thing. That wasn't the only time I saw a ghost.
But I gotta.
Go with him. No,
But
you gotta go
you
with him on this.
You didn't
I
hook up
also-
with a ghost.
I also-
You didn't have sex with a ghost.
I also
physically.
see ghosts sometimes when I'm sleeping. I can't move. And it's like someone sitting on my chest.
Do you think
and
those
I
aren't night terrors of any kind?
Or is
maybe?
she just fat?
Nightmares.
What is
or-
Nightmares. I looked it up and they try to say that it's sleep paralysis. I think that's what they
Sleep
paralysis.
paralysis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the technical name for it. But those are ghosts. Those are spirits coming to you in your sleep.
Son.
I cannot. This is groundbreaking.
No, it's not. This is
Those
5 minutes of
Has
the
that ever
most
happened to
BS
any of
I've
y'all?
ever heard in my life.
Has that ever happened to any of y'all?
I've never
No,
been
I've
written
never
by
had
Sleep
ghosts.
ghosts.
paralysis.
Ghost
I will. I
before,
will
John.
say this. I will defend this
Sleep
part of it.
paralysis. I've heard
Sleep
of.
paralysis
Thank you,
is a
Rick.
real thing. It is
Yeah.
a real thing. I have experienced it myself where I'm awake but I can't move.
And someone's
Rick,
there.
Rick,
I know.
Rick,
Well, no
Rick,
one was there for
Rick,
me.
Please
No one was there.
allow
No.
me to do this. This is one of the things that John does, people. He starts telling this story that's so far fetched, and he throws one thing that's a fact in there.
That's exactly
and
what I
then
was gonna
he
say.
wants the he sets it up perfectly so the person he's talking to
Oh,
can
my goodness.
extract that fact out of his story, and then go, "Well, listen, guys, sleep paralysis is a real thing.
It is.
It is. We know.
And it
We
makes-
know
but
it's real.
it
The
makes
ghost
everything seem
doesn't ride
credible
people.
or
No,
kinda
You're
credible.
They try to-
you're likening sleep paralysis,
goodness.
a serious thing, with a ghost riding people.
Yeah. She
That's what
rode
you're
me.
doing.
She rode me. We had sex. And I only noticed because any other time that that this sleep paralysis, how I said that in quotation marks,
See, every
happened,
time-
it was a scary moment.
All right.
So I had a friendly ghost come to me one time. Every other time, it was like a
So
like
you were
a
raped
evil
by
presence,
Oh
bro.
my God, John.
So I just want to know, were you raped or
you were
was it
sexually
consensual?
harassed by a ghost.
Did you consent
John?
to this?
I couldn't move, bro.
So I guess
you
it's
were
a no.
raped
I was
by
awake.
ghosts.
I wasn't scared. Any other time, like I'm
Why
trying
we
to
talking-
wake up,
John.
bro. Like you feel me?
John, stop.
Any
this.
other time I'm trying to wake up. Cause there's some like
But what did
monster or something in the room or like sitting on my chest. So I try to get up like I'm screaming to myself. I'm like I'm like that, but I can't.
It's a nightmare. John, listen.
It's not a nightmare.
John, listen.
What did you?
'Cause
do?
he-
I have
Rick just said he-
100%
No,
respect
he
for you.
said sleep
Rick just
paralysis.
said
He
he
said
did it.
nothing about
He said
ghost
this-
riding.
He
Nothing.
said that sometimes when he's awake, but he can't move.
Yes,
That's what
sleep
happened with
paralysis.
me.
That's one part.
But there was a spirit there
It
in
just
the
happened to
room.
be there at that time.
Yes.
So it was chilling. It was like, oh, now. Let me wait for him to
Did
get.
she show
Let
up?
me wait for him to get paralyzed
Got him.
first.
Did she show up naked or did she take her clothes off?
She was naked.
Okay, so she just came out of thin air.
She came
naked.
out of the closet and was naked.
No.
Okay, she opened the door.
Gosh,
She come
these-
through the door.
Big old
These
boobies.
slogans.
She had a nice
slogans.
body.
Nah,
No, that
come on
These
now.
slogans.
I'm
Come
serious.
on, man.
She had a. I'll never forget. She had a crazy
There's people
body.
out there that really believe in ghosts,
And I didn't.
you're ripping them
And I was
apart
like,
right now
yo.
with the story.
And then when I woke up, I was like, "What? Like, where is she? Like, you know what I mean?"
You
you
look.
just
You look
tell-
for her. You continue to look for her after she did everything.
I knew what happened. Like, I knew it was like.
Did you tell-
I knew it was a spirit. So no, I didn't try to look.
Did you tell Just?
Just wasn't nowhere in my life.
All right,
Is that cheating?
have you ever told someone? Were you in a relationship where you had sexual
This is my- this-
that is.
I told someone this. I told my mom that story actually.
You told your
You should
mom
keep it. You
how
should keep
got,
it to
Because
that.
I was scared. I was like, "Oh, what the?"
You should
Taking
keep it to
advantage
that.
of
What's going
by
on?
ghosts?
You
I
should
was like-
keep it to
I
the
was
two
like,
people
I
you
forgot how
told.
old I was. I want to say I was like 8th grade.
Can you just please tell me the process of how
No.
you got taken? I just please for kicks, please tell me.
You're
I
gonna be
just wanna
kicking
know.
yourself.
How did it happen?
You're kicking
how
yourself.
Did you how did you
She
penetrate the
rode
ghost?
me, bro.
But how? But okay, so
I couldn't
did it go?
move.
You felt. You felt.
I know.
Did you
KJ's
feel the
gonna ask
proper?
the question. I'm
Oh,
dying to
did
ask.
you
I
feel
need to
the
know.
proper
Did
feelings?
Did it go through? Did
I
you feel
feel the
anything?
proper
I
feelings.
woke
How
up.
do you know you was inside
I
of
woke-
the ghost?
Yeah.
My mom said it was a wet dream. I don't believe that because wet dreams don't have. You're not
Floating?
conscious. They don't have people around you. Like this was a.
What?
It was a ghost, bro. Like
This is amazing.
wet dream. You know what difference between a dream is? All right, Rick. You had sleep. You had a sleep paralysis. before,
Paralysis,
was it?
yes.
Yeah. There's a difference between that and a dream, right?
There is.
Can you not-
I mean,
Thank you.
No, well, okay.
What he said.
Let him
But
talk.
Deshaun's right. You are taking one part that is legitimate and turning it into your argument.
He does this for a living, people.
Sleep paralysis does exist. I have definitely laid there. I was conscious enough to know I was awake. I could see what was happening around in the room. And this isn't just from like anesthesia, from surgery or something. This has actually happened in my own bed at my own time.
Okay.
I could look around, see the stuff, and I physically was like, I wanted to get up, but I felt like I couldn't.
See, Rick was just being lazy.
Well, yeah, Rick. You know what Rick wasn't?
Banging
a ghost.
Exactly. That's what he wasn't doing.
I was visited by spirits. You guys never had any ghost
Listen.
stories? Like nothing happened with you in a ghost?
No, John, listen. Maybe you had a nightmare where you visualized your room that you were in. Because I do that all the time.
No, but
I have nightmares where I'm visualizing my bedroom. I'm in my bedroom, in my bed. I've had nightmares like that. I've never been paralyzed to the point where, like, maybe you had a nightmare.
Why would I have a nightmare about...
The same reason
Why would I have a dream about my room?
The same reason you're telling us about hooking up with a ghost.
You don't have to have a dream about where you're at.
People have dreams about where
their
surrounding areas all the time.
All the time.
What?
Like, you don't,
sounds like a stupid ass dream to me.
Okay. Does Pam still live in the same house you grew up in?
Everyday life experience.
Okay, so do you ever have dreams of the house you grew up in, even though you don't live there anymore? You don't ever have a dream like or a conscious memory of something that comes to you while you were asleep, of like growing up in your childhood bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay, so that stuff does happen all the time. People dream about
it's
places.
The same thing.
I'm not going to sleep in my house now and dreaming about the room I'm sleeping in.
I have.
What room are you dreaming about?
That doesn't make sense. If I'm having a dream, I'm somewhere else.
I love that you can control your dreams before
you actually can control your dreams.
This is what
you can't.
TiVo lifestyle. What is?
Oh my goodness!
You're controlling this nightmare dream.
You're controlling what you're doing while you're asleep.
This is amazing.
He's
a bad. That's a bad boy.
Yes.
He a bad boy.
So Doctor Strange.
This man is sitting in dreams.
That's Doctor Strange.
I can't sitting there like, all right, tonight's gonna be a nightmare. Tonight's a dream.
I can't fight in my dreams. I'll give that up.
He's controlling a television, like a TV station of some sort. This is Inception at its best. Listen, tonight I've been having too many dreams. I need to mix in a couple of nightmares to keep myself humble. Like, what are you talking about?
Humbling my own nightmares.
I gotta humble myself. I need a couple more nightmares.
So there's some things that you can't control in your dreams, but you ever been in a dream and be like, all right, I know this. You ever have a nightmare and be like, all right, I know this is a nightmare. I need to wake up now.
Tons of times.
That's controlling your dream.
No,
like, what are you talking about?
Just waking up.
That's controlling if you're dreaming. Sleep paralysis, you can't control.
You cannot keep going back to that.
No.
Can you control it?
All right.
No, you can't control
John, I'm not going to argue
so
with you.
that's the difference between a dream and sleep paralysis.
I'm not going to argue with you in that sense of the point where you can actually, in a sense, I feel like you can control your dream.
Oh, now you can control your dreams. He just went on a huge rant about how
John, I just lied. John, you can't control a dream.
John,
you can't control a dream, bro.
Oh, you lied?
Yes, to you, because you just lied to me about having sex with a ghost.
John Flowers is magic.
It didn't happen.
He's magic.
This is crazy.
Hope not.
So you have you ever woke up out of a dream like, I know this is a dream? Yes or no?
When I woke up, I realized I was having a nightmare. Yeah,
No.
Because I was in a different place.
Or
maybe I was in a place where something wasn't happening.
In the dream, have you ever been like, all right, I know this is a dream. I know this isn't real. While you're dreaming, I need to wake up right now.
I can't think of it for now.
I bet you can't.
Okay, okay.
Rick has. Rick will keep it real, man.
Well, no, I will keep it real.
Quarter Black will keep it real.
Quarter Black will keep it real. This is something that has happened to me, and I got to tell you, it sucks when you wake up. My dad died when I was 15. And so I still have very vivid memories of my father, but I also still have dreams of my father talking to me now as an adult. And so when I don't ever want to wake up from that because it's really pleasant. But when you wake up, you're like, you realize you're back in real life.
But you don't get to control that dream.
I don't know why.
You don't know when it's gonna come.
No,
you don't know what night.
I can't manifest it before I go to bed.
Let's get into this though. Let's get into this. Rick, what are the dreams about? Tell me one dream that you didn't want to wake up when your father visited you.
Okay.
As a spirit.
No, I'm fine.
It's not a dream.
Okay, I will answer that. No, I'll answer it. It's cool. Okay, so I'm probably about a year ago.
Okay.
Almost 2 years ago, about coming back here to West Virginia because I lived at the beach. I lived down in North Carolina, and I was wrestling with, do I come back to West Virginia? Is this what I want to do? Are these the moves I want to make? Do I want to go back to working a 60, 70-hour work week when I was working? Those are a lot of things you got to think about because it's a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
And so, I seriously had a vision or a dream of sleeping or of being on my back porch while I was sleeping, my back porch where I grew up, not where I live now, not where I've lived the last two places, but when I was a kid, my dad was there.
Okay.
I was a 30-whatever-year-old man talking to my, still at the time, because my dad died when he was 60, a 60-year-old father of mine giving me advice. And you know what? I wish it would have lasted, obviously not forever, but when I woke up, I was like, damn, like if I had one more minute, I would question what I've asked. What would he have told me? Yeah. And I don't have a problem talking about that, and I don't know if it's weird or not. Maybe it's a spirit. I don't know. But it is. If you love somebody like that, I'm sure the people that have died in your past, you've dreamt about them.
See, I can tell you what that was. It wasn't a dream. You actually traveled into a different dimension of time, and you had a conversation with your father. That's awesome.
Now, see,
that's a great experience you had.
Now
there.
you've gotten a spirit that took you with him.
I know
that's
cool.
God.
He's so damn captivating.
Is
that
the word? Is that it?
I was trying to make it impressive. Okay, I'll tell you this. I have had at least one situation that I cannot explain why I was completely conscious and awake. Have you guys gone to the Moundsville State Penitentiary, the haunted prison?
Yeah, I've been there before.
Okay, you guys ever been there?
Okay,
so they say it is haunted. There were plenty of riots there. There were inmates that murdered each other. Yeah. I got to go on a tour. It was just 6 of us, and we had a run of the whole prison overnight. So now you're sleep deprived because it's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. The windows creak, the steps creak, all that kind of stuff.
For no reason, huh?
Well, first it was in October. It's windy. It's there's a lot of things going on.
Continue.
And my friend and I were walking through the infirmary part. So that's where all, if you got sick, you got stabbed, you went upstairs, and essentially a lot of people died in there. We're walking back to back. I feel something brush up against my back, and I turned around, and my friend was on the other side of the room. Now, I will tell you for sure, I cannot explain what that was.
See? You're playing around. You don't mess with, you just don't do that.
I didn't bring a Ouija board here. I'm just telling you a story.
They said this is a haunted, insane, prison?
Prison.
Yeah.
So it's bad spirits there.
Yes, there are.
Say an overnight tour there.
And you're playing with spirits this much. You really must not believe in ghosts.
I don't.
Because you're playing with spirits this much. And you go to
tough.
Prison where they had a rough time. People have been executed in an electric chair, stabbed, shanked. And you go there to just, I don't know why you went there. Why?
Because I thought it would be an interesting experience, and it was.
Why did you think it would be an interesting experience if you don't believe in ghosts?
Because people say it's haunted. That's because I didn't see it being haunted doesn't mean that it's not, but I don't believe in ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts either.
Maybe he might change his mind. Maybe that might change his mind.
I definitely don't believe in ghosts, but at the same time, I don't go around
testing
the theory.
Okay, so if I brought a Ouija board in here and I sat
You're
on
not
it,
bringing a
you guys
Ouija
run?
board. You're not bringing a Ouija. Yeah, I'm out of there.
You guys would run from a Ouija board.
I don't split poles. I don't do any of that stuff. It's like,
they sell Ouija boards at Toys R Us.
What?
Yeah, they don't care.
That's
about
why Toys R Us
That's
is
why
closed
Toys R Us
down
closed.
Yep.
That's not why they closed.
Everybody's not a kid again.
So do you
They're
believe
not that
in
kind of kids?
You believe in ghosts now after the ghost smacks your ass in the prison?
Well, first of all, he didn't smack my ass. I'm not John Flowers.
A brush in the back and a slap on the ass.
No, he brushed my back.
Oh,
whatever it was, it was a gust of wind. Whatever it was,
definitely probably was.
Brushed my back.
So it was wind.
Guaranteed.
It was October.
It wasn't wind because you remember. You distinctly. Come on now.
Dude, I ran like
Scooby-Doo,
man. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. I was like,
it's an abandoned
ran
jail.
from wind.
It's an abandoned jail.
Windows are open.
They're broken.
Wind is going through them.
Dad, you don't believe in ghosts?
Huh?
You don't believe in ghosts?
I don't believe in that.
You have a better time believing in aliens than ghosts?
Bro, I just don't really see, like, the way I'm picturing a ghost. I don't see it in that fashion.
So we all have a...
What?
I mean,
what are they doing?
I just don't picture a ghost like that.
After John got taken advantage of by the ghost,
he lost me.
Listening. Yeah,
he lost me at that.
I really stopped listening to what John has to say right now.
Don't hate on me.
I'm not hating.
It's a good experience, though. I like this.
You just said we need to press charges against a ghost.
Yeah. Wait, I want to know this. I have to ask. God, I wish I wasn't going to ask this question, but I have to know. Was that your first time?
Yeah, it was, actually. So technically, I never thought about that.
You lost your V card.
God. Like, Rick, don't fall into
I
it. Don't do
never
this.
thought about that.
Don't fall. Don't.
I just want to know
Don't
what
pander
he's
to, don't pander to
Oh, I
his,
think he's full of crap. I
don't
just want to know
pander
what
to
he
this
said.
guy. He's
I woke up in a wet spot and
you peed the bed. Grow up.
I was
Peter
hard.
Pan. It's over. That's
had
all that
I had an
happened.
erection. It
It was your first time.
It was my first time. I woke up straight out of the dream though. Like it wasn't like I woke up in the morning and
And she
I mean,
was
did
like,
you
"I'll see you
protect-
later."
Did you protect yourself at least?
She closed
Was
the
it
door when she
protected?
woke up.
Was it protected or you went?
I don't know how you protect yourself against a ghost.
One night stand
No,
with
I
a ghost.
mean-
I couldn't move, so no,
Exactly. I
I
don't
didn't.
wonder how you have sex with a ghost, but
Exactly.
hey, we're here.
This
we go.
portion of the
It's recall-
program brought to you by Trojan.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Go,
When you get that ghostly
No.
feeling,
ghostly
at
feeling.
night.
Call us. Trojan.
But you don't know where
Ghost
people go when
condoms.
they die. Like,
Extra thing.
so,
What do you say?
So do you guys believe in heaven and hell?
Yes.
Yes,
You do.
I
I
But you
believe.
don't
I
believe
believe
in-
in a sense of it.
Okay.
Life off of Earth.
I don't believe
This is
in
ridiculous.
afterlife. I don't believe in ghosts being on Earth, but I do feel like they're spirits like in heaven and hell.
So
I don't believe it being on Earth though.
So they can go to heaven or hell, but they can't be on Earth.
I don't think that's where they go.
I don't believe.
Huh?
I believe that they leave this. They leave this.
Yeah.
Like
They leave
whatever
their
this
body
is,
on
like,
Earth and their
yeah.
spirit goes.
So the spirits
Exactly.
is floating around.
Well, no. If you believe in heaven or you believe in hell and
either-
or
All
purgatory,
right, so you're just stuck
Yeah.
there.
kind of like where your clothes
That's what I
are when
kinda
they're not
feel.
clean and they're not dirty. Purgatory.
So you can't leave heaven and come back to Earth.
No, I don't.
I don't think so.
Only in the movies.
Just a gatekeeper there is like, no, you can't leave.
Only in
I
the
think
movies.
there
It's
is a
Saint
gate-
Peter.
Yeah, I think this.
I mean, for
There
Catholics,
is
it's
that.
Saint Peter. That's
You're
the
quoting-
person who's at the
So
gate.
tell me about St. Peter. He's at the gate. He's saying you can't leave.
Basically, just imagine you were going to the club. And there's a list.
Yeah.
And John Flowers on the list.
The
He
gatekeeper.
gets through the
who's-
gates.
Okay, so he says who can go in.
Once you're in, why are you leaving heaven?
Yeah,
the
why
whole
would you
I
point.
was gonna ask.
Like, what
why
are
are
you
you
talking
want to
about?
leave?
Yeah, I
that?
just
to go
gotta get
back
out
to
of here.
visit one of your loved ones that you left
I gotta
behind.
get out of here real quick. I know it's lit.
Let me.
I know
Keep
heaven is.
performing.
I know heaven
Like-
is the best place.
I
I've
gotta
ever
go
been,
though.
but
I gotta catch up with my
Just
cousin. He's
Yeah.
going through it
I
right
gotta
now.
go back down
Just
to
like
Earth.
Rick's dad
It's like, what are
came
you
to
talking
him
about?
Left something.
and had a conversation with him about coming back to West Virginia. What did you guys talk? Coming
Yeah,
back?
it's just about moving
They
back
had a
here.
conversation, and then he went back to heaven.
That's
There's nothing
in
wrong
a
with
dream,
That's in
John.
his
that.
dream.
Well, it wasn't.
It could, like, for example, that could be like
I'ma be
I
a-
don't know for sure, but that could be memories that he had from when
Yeah.
his dad talking to him when he was younger. Like, it could be anything. You don't. I know it ain't ghosts.
I think I would do that. I would just stick around and scare the shit out of some people.
I know.
Well,
you
That's
would.
all.
I don't
That's
think
all
that's
your
your
point was.
decision,
Just for a
though.
little
I
I don't
think-
think that's up to you.
And I really feel like that was his whole point to just get to this.
Yeah.
I want to be a ghost so I can scare people.
Yeah. I
don't
And then
think
that's
that's
all you
up
had to
to
say
you,
from the
though.
beginning
Coming to-
instead of lying to us
Come
about
to
this
somebody's
ghost
office,
sex.
smack some papers around.
I'm gonna get you a part-time job at a haunted house this
I'm not.
this fall.
I don't do that stuff.
Are you afraid of a haunted house?
I don't play with the dead. I don't go to.
They're actors.
I don't do this.
Do you not watch scary movies?
Oh, you mean like fake haunted houses? I thought you meant like real like the thing you went to. I'm not doing
no,
that.
like you wouldn't go to a haunted house.
Yeah, I go to Fright Farm all the time.
Okay, so you go to Fright Farm.
Yeah.
Okay, so those people are pretending to be spirits. There's always like ghostly spirit in that.
But
kind.
the grounds aren't haunted.
You don't think that
What
Like,
creates haunting in the grounds?
For example,
Yeah.
wasn't there like an Indian burial ground in Morgantown and they built over top of it?
I think that is a old wives' tale for every city in the
Yeah,
world.
because Pet Cemetery came out. Anyway,
Oh, he dismissed you.
I'm pretty sure that really happened though.
It may have.
Because I think they were like protesting and stuff out
is there
here.
a Springfield in another state?
Springfield.
It's the same thing.
Well, no, I don't know. I mean, okay, so
Urban legend.
all right. You guys familiar with the Mothman?
Actually, I'm not too familiar with the Mothman story. I've heard
was
I've heard of
Mothman?
some of it, but not too much.
Okay, essentially,
Enlighten me.
I'll give you the Reader's Digest version of the Mothman. In Point Pleasant, West Virginia, there was a silver bridge. It's a small little town. In Point Pleasant, they said that there was a creature that came from nowhere, somewhere, haunting the TNT fields where they used to test explosives. Which, of course, things that go into explosives can probably play with your mind.
Yeah.
To be fair, they said this thing came out of nowhere. There's a movie made about it with Richard Gere in it, and they came out of nowhere, and it
out to Richard
was
Gere.
foretelling bad things. Something bad's going to happen. Its name was Indrid Cole, I believe was the name of the Mothman that said that was his name. A couple days after it disappeared, this silver bridge collapsed and killed 40-some people. It collapsed. It was Christmas time. There are people there that said then men in black suits showed up and were now and you would not find men in black suits in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It is a very working man's town. There's not a lot of people.
What year was this again?
You know what? I do not remember the year, but it was, I think, in the 70s.
All right, cool.
So what they did was they thought that this gigantic creature helped cause this accident. They said that was what it was. This town built a statue. There is a statue in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, of something they think brought evil to their town.
What they saw.
Okay. I'll show you the picture. You guys talk about it. What do you think? I mean, do you think that's a real thing? Yeah, look it up.
So wait, this was a movie based off something
real.
that
happened,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're saying that this is an actual monster.
So this is a movie.
That's the thing that kills me about like the alien thing, bro. Like it's just
real.
You hear so many stories.
No, 'cause
like,
that's what the
I wasn't there.
said.
You hear so many stories like of things like this, like Mothman or mermaids and stuff like that, where these stories just keep getting passed around a long time ago from cultures that never met each other, but they have the same story about the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the whole alien thing doesn't seem so far-fetched to me when you hear people talk about stuff like this.
Well, this
It's
is a
weird.
monster. They think this is a monster, essentially.
I think people just like the idea of
Having stuff out there.
having stuff out there, or like we going back to, you said something about Scooby-Doo earlier, because like the main lesson in Scooby-Doo is that like most of the times like
never
people
monster.
are the real monsters.
Exactly.
Sure.
Like I feel like most people just want to have something to blame on another thing. Like they don't want to think that like people are causing, like actual human beings are causing this, and they have to have like these mythical creatures that come out of nowhere. Like that's what I really think.
Did you type it in?
Yeah, I'm looking at this thing right now.
Yeah, look at the
This is a
statue.
crazy statue.
That is a
For
crazy.
me to look here, I'm looking at.
Yeah, show them.
I'm looking at something like that's.
They built
People
that
said they
statue.
saw that.
Wow.
Yeah, they
like
said they
numerous
saw that.
people said they saw that. That's interesting.
I don't believe in monsters.
Well, that is most
I
certainly
feel
a
like
alien.
I believe if you have people building things like the I mean, I know there are hieroglyphics and I know there are things like that in South America that were built and pyramids that are built without people's explanation. I find that to be interesting, like that people are building these things or making these things without the proper tools a long time ago. People see certain things like this, a group of people. I mean, this could be a town saying, all right, cool, let's make the story up, and then we have like a place where people drive in and sit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
It's a tourist attraction.
it's a tourist attraction. It might be a town or somebody that said that, but I mean, if they connected it to a story of people dying and people sat there, like I would assume that people wouldn't joke around about the deaths of 40 or 50 people on a bridge.
Yep.
And for them to attach it to something like this, it's kind of like, all right, I might not believe it was something like this, but they saw something that wasn't what you would normally see.
Yeah,
And I think that says a lot for it in itself.
They believe it so much so. The woman who owns the little restaurant across the street from there, and there's an Indian burial ground, which was what made me think of mentioning this.
That's crazy.
Her husband died in that bridge collapse.
Oh, wow.
If you went into this woman's restaurant, I don't know if she's alive, but I have gone in there. This was probably 10 years ago, and I talked to her. I met her because she was a friend of a friend, and I was doing my radio thing, and I thought this would be interesting because they actually have a Mothman celebration every year in Point Pleasant.
Exactly.
And so I said,
crazy.
can you tell me, I mean, exactly, and she will tell you the story just like Pam would tell you a story about your childhood, or any of our moms would be like, this is what happened. She was like, well, you know, the Mothman came, and we saw him in the TNT fields, and then, of course, the guys in black suits showed up, and the bridge collapsed, and my husband died. So a matter of fact, that like you're telling, like you truly, I can't tell if you believe you had sex with a ghost or not. I'm still not sold on it. But this woman believes that thing came to her town and killed her husband like the day is long.
Why would she make that up though?
I don't get the whole aspect of it. Like if it was one thing if people were like, yo, there's a Mothman out here and nothing happened. So like that's just like this rumor, and it still is a rumor and an urban legend in a sense. But like for you to attach it to the death of numerous people on a bridge, and you take the death of those people serious.
Yeah.
For you to attach it to a serious thing, I mean, they all saw something. I guess I don't know if it's this, but
Did she personally talk to the Mothman?
She said that. Yeah, I mean,
she personally.
she said she saw it.
She saw it.
It was in that town for
Jeepers
weeks,
Creepers.
and it had
What
been.
was it doing though?
It was
That's
just
what it
kind
is.
of it would call people and it would appear in their backyards. There were multiple accounts of people seeing the same image, different places, different people at different times. But the TNT fields where they made dynamite was the centralized location for it. Hey, I mean, if you're willing to believe in aliens.
Side note: did y'all see in the clip of in the neighborhood where they thought they saw the Lucky Charms man or whatever it was?
The leprechaun?
The leprechaun. Yeah, do you see that?
I did not see it.
Nah, definitely not.
The funniest thing ever. But I don't believe that. So
Bro, I'm
this
not
kind
gonna
of sounds like the same.
That's funny. Like, people believe that. I believe that in the craziest stuff too. Though I kind of, but without proof though. She seems like she had proof.
Like what?
Like she talked to the thing.
Yeah,
like I believe that there's like mermaids and stuff like that there were, or something that probably not the way we thought it was, but like
The
we think
ocean.
it is, like in the water.
The ocean.
I think
is
it's something in the ocean that we don't know about.
The ocean is a different beast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of feel like, in a sense, it's like space, where there's so many things
Yeah.
down there that we don't know what's what. And
Exactly.
for all we know, like, it could be something down there bigger than a dolphin, but not as big as a shark. Like, it could be something down there.
And maybe they can't come up to surface, just like the gatekeeper won't let the
Like, for example,
spirits out.
this
I will honestly admit what you just said may slightly change my mind because I think the ocean is terrifying.
Like, it's the same thing to me as space, where if you get to the deep, dark parts of space or the deep, dark parts of the ocean, you really can't go. All you can do is guess, like, if we get this far, we would get out of this galaxy and into whatever else. We don't know. It's dark. And you get to a certain point where it's too dense for humans to go. Maybe something, and there's things down there, obviously.
Yeah.
Those things can withstand that. They can't withstand light.
Like
They can't be in a lighter part of the ocean. So those things have to be in the dark. So maybe it's one of those things that is in the dark that can withstand the density. It's fine, but
Once it
it
comes-
can't be in the light. There's animals that can't be in the light.
They should.
that are
This
underground.
scholar over here.
I mean, it's just
It's a good
Scholar
point.
and gentleman. That's
just-
actually a good philosophy.
But I kind of
It
look
is.
at it like that in the numbers with
Aliens.
like life, like just life in general. There's life on other planets. Like, for you to say, like, there's nothing up there, is to say there's nothing down there.
You know what? I have to admit that honestly makes me think about what I said a little bit. That is pretty brilliant. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. We've been talking for nearly 2 hours.
Oh, had a blast.
I actually really enjoyed it. You guys have fun?
Yeah, I just hope John wrapped up with his ghosts. We don't want.
Do you
any
think
half-
the ghost
We don't even know.
We don't want any half ghosts have human kids around.
Not to
walking
mention, we
around
don't
here.
even know why she died. She's throwing it to you that
Exactly.
quickly.
So-
She could have ran into the wrong guy.
She could have
what
ran.
if she did get pregnant?
What, I'm not talking about
What if
that's
you
the
have
reason
a
she
ghost
died.
kid out there that you're not claiming?
That's crazy.
And
You
you
gonna
not
tell
putting
Jess?
child support?
Nope. Well, she knows now.
She knows about
I'm
you.
snitching.